Very, very interesting interviews we heard in the news then with Ruth Davidson on the front page of the Sunday Times. Politicians very rarely say never. She is saying, I never want to be Prime Minister. It's too much of a risk to my mental health. Very sensible thing to say, but it rules out of contention one of the most prominent, in fact, the most prominent and eloquent moderate Tory in the country. So that's a big political story as well. Let's turn now, Sarah Baxter, to the woman who many people thought could be the next Tory leader and Prime Minister, Ruth Davidson. People have been talking about this for, I think, about 3 years or 2.5 years, and she has finally put the story to rest.
I mean, she was the great hope of a new generation of leaders who would be moderate, modern, up-to-date, in tune with the whole country, Scotland, England, the lot. And she says she's never going to do it. It's an astonishing interview. She's really frank to Decca Aikenhead, who's just joined us at the Sunday Times. And she...
Just tell us a little bit about what she said about her growing up years, adolescent years, and why she's doing this.
What she did, which was an astonishingly brave thing to do, was she rolled up her sleeves in the interview and she said, look at my history of self-harm, and showed her scars. And she said that as a teenager, she was incredibly depressed. A friend of hers committed suicide. It led her into a spiral of depression and dark thoughts. And she's very afraid of ever going back there. And she tries to run her life so that she never has those feelings again. And she knows that the pressure of being PM could revive all that.
Going into the mad world of Westminster.
And she's pregnant. She's the mama bear. She wants to be a great mum. She doesn't want to be running up and down from Edinburgh.
But isn't one of the wonderful things about her is most politicians do these stories after their ambitions and their futures are over. You know, they're always, you know, this is what happened to me before. It's just extraordinary that she's been so honest. And while she's still at the peak of her power in Scotland, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is a big loss to the Tory party, though.
Yes.
Certainly to the Tory moderates. A lot of people were looking to her to stir things up at Westminster. When she goes to the Tory conferences, they love her there.
Of course they do. Yeah. But that she's still going to be there. She's not standing down from as leader of the Tory party in Scotland.
And her huge popularity is a blow to Corbyn's chances of winning the election because he needs Labour to be revived in Scotland.
Yes,
and she's hugely popular in Scotland, and rightly so. And what she's done for the issue of mental health and young women is astonishing here as well.
That's the bit that's really brave and really important, because people who are also dealing with those same issues, you know, they'll be able to look at her and find hope from her story.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's really good that she's talked about these issues.